Yes, as you can see from the title, today is Mike's 69th birthday, and we've just gone back from being out for his birthday. If you want to see what a 69-year-old man looks like living the Cyprus peaceful life, then I did post a picture of him out when we were out today on my community post page. So go and have a look there and you will see Mike on there. And I thought we would start today. We'll do some of our normal stuff as well, some of our updates on the craft and so on and so forth. But I thought, as it's his birthday today, I would do something a little different. And I thought I would do things associated with the year of his birth. So I thought we'd do that. So let's do that first today, and then we'll do some of our other features, catching up with my craft and so on and so forth. So I thought I would I've got this little booklet, and this is called The World According to Mike. And it's all about the name and about the name Mike. And if you don't know, his name in Cyprus is the Cypriot word for Mike or Michael is Michalis. So I often call him Michalis. So let's see. The first bit says, the world according to Mike, the personality behind your name. Let's see how much is true. It says Mike. The meaning of the name Mike is who is like God, ? Mike is a shortened form of Michael, a biblical name of Hebrew origin, meaning who is like God, ? A rhetorical question implying no person is like God. And then it says the character of Mike. Ooh, this would be interesting. It says, in times of stress, you are always the one who remains level-headed. Sometimes. I would say yes, he is, but sometimes I have different views because I have a legal background. So I have different views on how things should be done. He's like, oh, well, do it your way then. It's like, well, that's the way to do it legally, such as if you're replying or responding to something legal, don't go around the houses and this and that, and make it much more factual and punctuated points and so on and so forth. So in that respect, he'd go around the houses and talk about, but this and this and this, that's not how you do it. So in that respect, that's when I do things the way they should be done. But yes, something goes wrong with the computer, I'm like, oh, Mike, just come and fix it. So yeah, he will push buttons. He doesn't know anything about computers, but he's self-taught. So he has spent many a time with him and his ex-boss. They used to play on the computer as in, oh, what does that do? And what happens if you press that and that? So they are self-taught. So he's level-headed in that respect. Or fixing a mechanical problem or making things work. He's good mechanically minded. It says, with a logical, straightforward approach to situations, you are usually quick to take the lead role. As I say, it's dependent on what that role and situation is. He's reliable. Excuse me. Yes, he's reliable, definitely. And anyone's just joining in, it's Mike's birthday, so I'm reading all things about the name Mike, about the personality, etc. It says links to your name, so links to the name Mike. Your hue is orange. I don't think I'd like to see him orange. Fragrance, cedarwood. Your plant is thyme. I love the smell of thyme. Oh, but that's Mike's. He likes basil. His favourite herb smell is basil. He really loves basil. Flower, lily of the valley. Tree is elm. animal is tiger. Now that's funny because his favourite animal is a tiger. He loves the print and the patterns of a tiger, so that's quite funny. Your metal is silver. Gemstone is opal. Day of the month, 19. And let's see what happens to him on the 19th of his birthday month. Your number is 20. Well, he's far gone age 20. I didn't know him then. Okay, this page says the mind of Mike. We do wonder. He talks out loud, so he likes to kind of figure things out by talking out loud, and he talks to himself, but that's how he works through things and figures things out. And he creates things in his mind, and while he's doing other jobs he'll think of another job and problem solve, but he likes to do that in advance of doing a job, and then he'll think of a better way. Okay, so that's my version of the mind of Mike, but it says the mind of Mike. You are fair in your judgment of other people and expect the same in return. Yes, he very much expects the same in return. With a will of iron, you are able to keep your intense reactions under control, ensuring a calm exterior in the most extreme situations. Oh, he's like me. He will, yeah, okay, whatever, and let go. But he won't be taken for a ride either. So, and to say he keeps under control, he would come home and shout about it. Like, well, you should be saying these things to that person, to me. Okay, the emotions of Mike. Oh, bless him, he's such a sweetie. Yeah, I would say shy in showing emotions. And that's why, if you've seen my video of my birthday, I kept in the bit, I said, kiss me, like give me a kiss, even though I was filming. He wouldn't do that on filming. And I can keep that for myself then, but why I put that up for you guys. The emotions of Mike, always logical. You find it difficult to show your emotions. There you go. It's good if I say it first, isn't it? It took him ages to even hold my hand when he was going out with me. He not to hold my hand, or he's not a huggy person like that or anything like that. Took him ages to hold my hand, but he said he fell in love with me the moment he first saw me. So it wasn't, I think he was being cautious. So okay, it says, however, when you do receive affection, you're only too happy to reveal your compassionate self. That is so true. Isn't it good when I tell you my bits first by the titles? Okay, the next bit says the social Mike. Okay, the social Mike. I wouldn't say he's distrusting, but he's very careful with friendships, because I think in the past people have abused his friendship, used him for what they want, and then discard. So I think he's very careful, and I would say he would rather have a small handful of very good, reliable friends who give back as good as they get, than have loads of people he knows well. I wouldn't call that friends. It's people he knows well. So I would say he's got a very small circle of very tight friends. So let's see what it says. The social Mike. Your preference is for a few exclusive friendships. You'd have thought I'd read this first, wouldn't you? Your preference is for a few exclusive friendships rather than a wide circle of casual acquaintances. It's exactly what I told you. However, you do enjoy big social events. I wouldn't say he does, unless it's like going to, say, a concert or something where it's not a big party. As long as your close friends are at your side, yes. Maybe, yeah, he does like maybe a celebration or something, because he enjoys music. He enjoys going out and party music. He's not a dancer. He wouldn't dance. Did you know Mike TV is Mike TV is the TV obsessed character from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh, it's just saying other people called Mike. The iconic 1970s album Tubular Bells was written by Mike Oldfield, and Mykonos is a volcano in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, the intelligence of Mike. Ooh, the intelligence of Mike. As I say, he should have been an inventor. That's what he should have been, an inventor. He does mechanics, he does engineering. As I say, he self-taught himself computers, totally self-taught. There weren't computers. Even in my day, we didn't have computers at school or anything like that. So what else would we say? Intelligence. He figures things out. So he figures out how things work, how to make things work. And as you know from my videos, he figures out how to make something from nothing. And I mean mechanical things as well. So our off-grid system, he's made his own solar panel. And I'm not saying he's used bits and made a solar panel. He's used totally obscure things to make a solar panel. That's on his channel. By the way, the top of this chat, I have put Mike's channel, and if you can't get this chat, if you're watching it back later, I've actually put it in the link under this video. So if you want to see more of what Mike creates, then go and check out Mike's channel. And it's always good if you put I'm from Dawn's channel, because then he sends you love back to your channel as well. So do let him know. Okay, so the intelligence of Mike. You have the ability to analyse things from an emotionless standpoint. This cool and logical approach enables you to dissect the most complicated of situations. So, yeah, that's basically it summed up. This is all so true, isn't it? Famous people named Mike. Mike Tyndall, born 1978, English rugby player, married to Zara Phillips, eldest granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II. Mike Tyson, born 1966, retired American boxer. Mike Myers, born 1963, Canadian actor and comedian, starred in films such as Austin Powers and Shrek. And then the last page says kindred spirits, others with similar traits. Is anyone named Adam, Melvin, Aidan, Mika, Michael, Melvin, Mitchell, Rich, Richard, and Rick. There. And funny enough, Richard is Mike's son, one of Mike's sons, and he is so like Mike. He, out of all Mike's children, he is so like Mike. So that's quite interesting. So if you've got any questions you want to know about Mike, then drop them under this live. And maybe if there's enough questions, we will do a video on answering the questions. That's how we can get Mike on the screen. I will say, oh, people have asked all these questions, and I can video all your questions asking him. And if you ask questions and I do a video on it, if there's enough questions, then I will, in the video, say your channel name if you have one. Okay, let's go on to this. Now, this came about the other day. We were out with friends, and often after a meal, you have coffee. And I always have a liqueur coffee, which is where you have coffee, a bit of spirit. I always have brandy, and then you have thick cream squirted on the top, like thick layer of cream. And I said, I have the brandy one. And one of the friends said, oh, what's that one called? And I said, I'm pretty sure that's called a French coffee, French liqueur coffee. And then we had a debate as to what all the other names were for the types of liqueur coffees and what that spirit was in the coffee. So I want to know how many of these you know. What do you call one that has Irish whiskey in? As I say, brandy is called a French liqueur coffee. What do you call the one that has Scotch in? What is that called? What is an Italian? So when you have an Italian liqueur coffee, what is the spirit? What is the drink that you have if you ask for an Italian liqueur coffee? What do you call one that has vodka in? What do you call that one? What do you ask for? What type of liqueur coffee if you want one with vodka in? What drink do you have in one that's called a Caribbean? So you see, sometimes I'll ask you one way, sometimes the other. So what do you have in the drink that is a Caribbean? What spirit is in the drink that you call a Mexican? So if you ask for a Mexican liqueur coffee, what is the spirit or the drink that you have in that coffee? What drink do you have in it if you ask for a Calypso? What liqueur coffee drink do you call a Calypso? What is the drink added to the coffee? And what is a special? Now, I didn't know this one. What is the liqueur coffee that you call a special? If you order that, what will be the drink in there? Hey, we have Crafting with Love on. Hello to you. This is Clint. Clint is quite new to my channel, and I'm quite new to Clint's channel. And guys, do go over, particularly if you're into crafting, go and take a look at Clint's channel. And while you're there watching, if you like what you see there, don't forget to hit the thumbs up for Clint's channel. So that's my puzzle of the day. Let me know in the comments below the answers to all those and see how many you can get. Also, there is one more. Can you figure out that one that I haven't said? If you look at the menu of them all, what that is there. Good to see you, says Crafting with Love. Thank you very much. And talking of crafting, let's have a look at this. So catching up with my cross stitch, how that's going at the moment. Let me see, I did a bit the other day. I'm doing quite well. Coming on. There we go. And if you've been watching for a while, you'll know I'm not telling you what it is. You've got to guess what it is. Each week I do a bit more and see if you can guess what it is. Mike looked at it yesterday and I said to him, what do you think it is? And he said, a battleship. It's not a battleship. Can you guess what it is? The bottom line is not the bottom, that is the middle. So the bottom middle is the middle of the whole thing. So I've got loads more to do down here yet and loads more. So what do you think it is? This is my current cross stitch project. If you're into my cross stitch particularly, or any of my crafts are on my other channel. Let me just put it in the chat so you can find my craft channel. It's other things as well. It's not just crafts. Oops, that's not it. There it is. I'm just grabbing it from my Word doc. Copy, bring it over to you. Go into the comments, post it there, paste. So my other channel is Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, and look at the playlist there. because there you will see a playlist of, I think, crafts or something similar to that, hobbies, something there. Go down my playlist there and you will see I've got cross-stitched galore on that channel. Also my pottery, my art, other crafts. I've also got videos on tips for crafts. So yeah, what do you think this is? I'm working on this area at the moment. I'm coming down here. It's a lot of the same colour. So I'm coming down there. There's a lot more to do. And then there's a lot more above that section of the same colour as well, which is why I've kind of jumped over there, because why I've got nice light, nice sunny days, I try and do these darker colours. So yeah, I have to really concentrate. I know a lot of you who do craft channels do your crafts while you're doing your lives. I have to really concentrate. Oh, Crafting with Love says I'm doing embroidery today. I'm very new to embroidery. I show my embroidery on this channel on my Monday lives. So my lives are the same time as today, Mondays and Wednesdays. And on the Monday one, you have to remind me because I sometimes forget to show it. I'm very new to embroidery, very, very new. I can't tell you many names of stitches. And my current embroidery project, I'm experimenting, doing something quite bizarre. I've got a picture on paper and I'm embroidering over the top of that. So I do weird things. So what are you embroidering? Are you embroidering a picture or are you just doing like fancy stitching? I just find it takes so much time, embroidery. So let me know what you're actually embroidering and I'll have to come over and see that. I do find you on occasionally. Well, the last 2 times I've found you, you've been on live. My times are very different, so it's very hard to sometimes be on when other people are on. For example, it's nearly 6 p.m. here now. Nearly 6 p.m. Clint says, I found fabric with a design on. Cool. I've got a, is it here? Where have I put it? No, it's way in the cupboard. I recently bought for €3. Let me get it. It's just there in the cupboard. I'll show you what I bought. And here, because this room is where I do my YouTube and my craft and everything. I did show this the other week. It was in a charity shop. It was €3 and it came like this, all like opened. And all I thought first was this sticking out. So I thought, I can use that for embroidery. It's quite thick. I thought, I'm starting embroidery. That's worth €3, isn't it? I would well say that's worth €3. There's quite a lot of it here. It's not been used at all. I thought, yes, I'll buy that for €3. Here, but can't chat. Okay, stitching it up. And then I looked and there was also, I have shown this, so those who have seen it, you're seeing it again. There was 2 bits of fabric. I thought, that's really good. It's felt. So I thought, that's really good for €3. And my husband said, can you use it for something? I was like, oh, yes, look, big piece. And another big piece. Brilliant. So I bought it. And then when I got it home, didn't really even look at the box properly. It's actually got, I think you can see it just about. It's got a pattern on it, like flowers. I think you can see that. There's flowers. Oh, dropped the box. And then when I look at the box, there's instructions as well inside. It's to make a small cushion or pillow. So I thought, it was opened, but obviously it's not been used at all. Someone's opened it, had a look in it and got rid of it, didn't want it. So I thought that was awesome for €3. Awesome. So that is something I'm going to be doing in the future. As I say, I've got another embroidery project at the moment, and what I'm doing is doing embroidery to show you on Mondays, and then I do cross stitch that I show you on Wednesdays. Cross stitch is my thing. I'm much more into cross stitch, but as I say, I do painting. I've shown my paintings before. My other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty, I've got videos where you can see my paintings, and if anyone wants to buy them, as long as you pay the postage, you can have that. Oh, Susan, hello. Thank you for being here. Many happy returns to Mike. He's 69. If you want to see a picture of him today on his birthday, I took a picture while we were out today, and that is on my community post page. So if you want to see him, then do go over there and see him. And I said at the beginning, I've posted his channel under this live and also the top of this chat. So if you want to see other projects that we do, that's his channel, Olive Farm Retreat Cyprus, and you can see him over there. Okay, nice to see you, Susan. Susan's always commenting on my channel, which is so much appreciated, as you all do. I really do thank you all. And talking about thanking you, something new for you to see if you wasn't here on Monday. Oh yes, do go over to Alyssa's channel and say hello here. And for the rest of you, okay, we haven't done today so far Wednesday's Quote Corner, so let's have a look at that. Okay, rolling on, let's do another update. I'm planning, as long as there's no rain, I'm planning another whole day in the garden. What I'm doing at the moment is lots of transplanting, so things that were indoors, I'm trying to get outdoors now, plant them outside in my raised beds or my hugelkultur beds. Where I grow in my tyres, I've just noticed some of them didn't have anything underneath. And I've got some roots coming up, tree roots coming up. So I've literally got to go to all of them, empty them all out, put something underneath them all. Mike said, I'm sure we put something underneath. I'm like, I don't think we did. So there's one new one that I've put there. That's got a lilo, an old lilo underneath. So what I'm going to do is empty one out and put all that compost that I made into that one, plant that one up. Then I've got another empty one and I can move them, find something else to put underneath, like plastic, as in like tablecloth plastic, that kind of plastic, not like plastic bags, put underneath, then move the soil for another one. That's going to be a really long job. I thought, I could wait for a volunteer and they could do that, but I want to get planting because it's a good time, because I wanted to actually change all those into herbs. I want to make a whole herb area over there anyway, so that will be a good time, and it's the right season to change that. I might start that tomorrow. Yesterday, I went to my vertical pallet wood herb area, and I took out anything that finished there and transplanted all new in there. I think there's 3 empty slots, but most of that is now planted. I've been transplanting a lot of the water bottles from my bottle farm. I've tried to get most of those planted out, so I want to finish that. I've still got a few more things in my indoor growing, which I want to get out into pots. So I will do that. Oh, I know what else I did yesterday. I keep some herbs on my patio, which is at the side. Okay, so I'm in my house. The patio's out there, right there. The kitchen's there, and then you come down a corridor behind me. Behind this wall, there's a corridor out to the patio. So when I'm cooking, it's quick to go out either that way or the other way. So there's a few herbs out there. So I just sorted all that area out. So at the moment, no big jobs per se in the garden, just moving, transplanting, clearing up areas. Most areas are now weeded, but any weeding, so it's just moving things around, really, up potting things into bigger pots, moving things around. Stage 2, let's call it. That's mostly what I'm doing right now. So yeah, tomorrow another day of, I call it bibbing and bobbing. Bibbing and bobbing, bits and bobs. Move this, move that, go over that end, come back. There's a lot of walking around goes on, so it's tiring in the respect of moving around. Ooh, and we went to the recycling centre yesterday, to the dump, the local dump. And you can take anything. So you can take plastic bottles, glass bottle, glass, your normal recycling stuff, cardboard, fabric, old clothes, your normal recycling. But you can take literally anything, medicine, batteries, electronics, you name it, you can take it. And you drive in, and I do mention I videoed it because we got stuff there. Ooh, I'm not telling you yet what we got there, but we got some more wonderful stuff from there. You can go as many times as you like. There is no cost, and I do mention that as I videoed it. No cost. I know some countries you can only go a certain amount of time, or you pay a small fee. Some people have told me, some of my YouTube friends, you have to pay if you want to take something away. Yes, but no cost here. You could go as many times as you like. I don't think they allow like big trucks or that. It's household, but our car was full of stuff. So you can take as much as you want from it and to it. So all sorts of stuff. And they have different areas, and you have to say what you've got. So let's say you've got an old car battery. You don't just tip it, you tell them, and there's certain safe containers where they store things like that, and medicine and that kind of thing. More hazardous stuff, they've got certain areas for. So yeah, we went there yesterday, so there will be a video coming up on that at some point, but I haven't got much footage, so I'm going to probably save it till I've got maybe been another time, because I like to keep that really as one video. So now I can make a whole salvage video, so it won't be coming up pronto. Yeah, so that's really the garden update. As I say, bibbing and bobbing, lots of backwards and forwards. As you know, our land's really big. I load as much as I can think that I want to take up the hugel areas to transplant, fill up a wheelbarrow, push it all the way there. It's a long walk. And then transplant it, and the wheelbarrow comes back again. So the time factor is this backwards and forwards. I transplanted some more tiny little peppers that I've grown from seed. That takes time, as you probably all know, transplanting all those little tiny things individually. So it takes time. But that is the update on that. What should we do now? Oh, let's do a bit of this. Okay, so you say you like my questions. So I've got my little book of questions that I've made. And let's pick out some questions. Let me see. What should we have? I tick them off when I've done them. Okay, this one. When you want to give up, what keeps you going? Oh, that's a cool question. When you want to give up, what keeps you going? Because I chose to do it. If it's a thing, I chose to do it because I don't do things I don't want to do. I've chosen my life, so therefore I fulfill it. Like when I moved to Cyprus, I wasn't one of these people who, well, I'll just keep my house there just in case. I don't give myself opportunities to go backwards. So I don't do just in case, or I don't give myself protection zones as in, well, I can fall back on that or I can fall back on that. Because if I'm going to do something, I will give it my everything. And I was saying the other day, at school, I was in the era when I went to an all-girls high school and you did secretarial work. You did secretarial exams. You did typing exams, shorthand exams. I was an academic, so that wasn't just that. I still did history, geography, science, all maths, all those things. But you had to take these things because it was still thought in my time that most girls would go and be secretaries in an office. Now, I wasn't a child who, we say, bunked off school. I don't know what you call it, but when you didn't turn up at school, you played hooky. I don't know what your phrases are, but I wasn't a child that did that. But I did that for typing and shorthand classes because I thought, well, if I take those exams, my parents said, well, you can fall back on them. I didn't want to be able to do that. To not have that safety net, I had to do what I wanted to achieve myself. And I certainly never wanted to work in an office in any shape or form. So the question says, when you want to give up, what keeps you going? I make sure I'm not in that position to start with, that I just give it my all. So what keeps me going is I want to achieve it. That's all I can say. What keeps you going? I want to achieve it. If I don't want to do it, I don't do it. I make sure I'm doing what I want to do. And I've been lucky enough to always have work that I chose that I wanted to do. I've never had to fall back on something else. Okay, let's find another question. If someone offered you a box of everything you had ever lost, what's the first thing you would look for? Oh, that's cool. That's a cool question. If someone offered you a box of everything you'd ever lost, so what's something I've lost that I would really want back? Let's say that. What would I look for? It's got to be something sentimental. I'm always losing things. You're always losing things. I can never find things. I would say, would there be something I gave away or sold that I wish I bought here? No. Ever lost? Some friendships. I know that's not a physical thing. Some friendships. It's just that normal progression of when your lives grow so apart. You keep in contact for a certain amount of time and then it gets less and less. And then a lot of my friends in England moved and never contacted me with their address. And don't forget, with females, if they get married, their surname changes. So it's not like a man, you can trace them as such. So maybe that, but if I've got to think of a physical thing, There's something I haven't got here that maybe I wish I brought with me, but then I haven't lost it. I just didn't bring it. What about you guys? Is there something you've lost that if you had the chance of here it is, what would be that first thing you would look for? So I like that question. If someone offered you a box of everything you'd ever lost, what's the first thing you would look for? What have I lost that's really important? I know what it is. I know. When I think, yes, it was high school. When I was in high school, we had to do our family history, and we had to do, a family tree. And there was an award for the person who got the furthest back in their family history, but both sides of their family, so their mother's side and their father's. You can't just trace one side. And my dad didn't talk about his past, his family and whatever else. I know the reason, but that's not important. There wasn't anything suspicious there. But anyway, so I wanted to just have this on paper, and I went back a long way. I got information that no one else knew. And my mum's side, my nan was still alive and she knew everything. And that went back so far. She knew so much, and she was still the generation where all this information's passed down. She had old photographs. I went back so far on that, and I wrote it all down. And it was, in those days, there was lots of different streams off for different reasons, and the families were big. They would have, in my nan and granddad's day, you would have 7, 8 children, and then they would have multiple children each, and it was big. It was a big family tree, and I did all that, and I kept it in, like a cash box, a metal cash box, and I put it in there. And when I came to moving to Cyprus, I took it out of that because I wanted to sell the cash box, because I was selling things I really didn't need, and I put it somewhere else. And I can't remember where I put it somewhere safe. Mike laughs when I say this. I only lose things when I move them to somewhere else, a better place or a safer place. Then I lose them. Because I can never remember where I moved them to. But I'll remember for years it might have been somewhere else, like in this cash box. And I definitely took it out, and I definitely put it somewhere safe. When we came here, I can't find it. I know what it even looks like. It wasn't like all drawn out fancy. It was literally in pencil on a bit of paper, and I'd done it all. And I don't know where it is. I don't know. Now, we did have, I'm pretty sure, one box went missing on our removals. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of things, nothing important, but there's a few things down there, and I thought, I'm sure I brought that with me. It might just be something in the kitchen or a pot or something. And every now and then I think, I'm sure I brought that with me. Maybe I didn't. But do you think it was in there, in something safe? Something safe. So I would say that, because I don't have it. I can't retrieve any of that information again. As I say, it wasn't the days when you had computers and you could put it all on computer. Everything was handwritten in those days. So yeah, I'm going to say that. The thing I've lost that I would like to find, even if I got to know where it was, I probably can't retrieve it now. But yeah, that is what it would be. It would be my family tree that I did. It was mostly my nan helped me, and no one else has that information. As I say, I source things that were unknown. That would definitely be my answer. So what would you do if someone offered you a box of everything you'd ever lost? What would be the first thing you would search for? What would you want out of there? What would be the thing? I think that's a brilliant question. Should we do one more question? Let's do one more. Let me see. What do you remember most about your first job? Now, is this your first paid job? Oh, my first job was paid. So I'll go through a few of them because I don't know what one you're going to count. My very first paid job was when I was about, I'm going to say 8. Oh no, before that I danced professionally, but no, that's something else. Okay, my first paid job, I was about 8, and every school holiday, my mum used to make us, me and my big sister, go to work with my dad. And we would go to work because they wanted us to learn commitment and to learn skills. My dad was a company secretary for a plumbing and heating firm. I think this is where my hate of office work comes from as well. I think this is where it comes from. And so we would go to work, as I say, he was like the company secretary, and we would work with him in he had his own office, and we would work there. My older sister, why have I gone so white all of a sudden? My older sister would go and work because she was older than me in with these old ladies that were doing all the like accounting. They did all the accounting, and they had an old not a calculator. What's the old adding machines? And then you pulled the handle down, then you put the next numbers in, pulled the handle down. Do any of you know those adding machines? I think they were just called. She would work in there doing that. I talked about this the other day. I would do. This is how I know things like plumbing joints, like elbow bends and T joints and all that. I don't know what you do with them all now, but I knew all the names of all these things from about 8 years old, and I had to go through like the catalogue and then work out how many they had in stock and who'd used which ones and put the prices of costing. Yes, costing. I did the costing of a job at the age of 8 onwards, and I hated every minute being in the office. I absolutely hated it. Other times my dad would give me literally accounts, and I learned how to do proper accounts at the age of about 9. And we have all the columns of expenditure, and I was self-employed for most of my working life. So yeah, kudos to me. I already knew how to do accounts, but yes, sundry items and all how to do all your accounts, and I had to add up all the columns, cross-reference them, check they were correct. Oh, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But we had to do it. You couldn't say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. We had to do it. And for that, we got wages, proper wages, not like silly money, proper wages in the little brown wages envelope. At the end, you had to do the whole school holidays, and then with that money, that money we had to keep for our holiday spending money. If it was the summer, when we went on holiday, that was our money. When it was gone, it was gone. And when we went winter school holidays, that was our money to buy Christmas presents for mum, dad, my sister, whatever else. That was our money to buy presents with. We never, ever, ever, ever in my whole life got pocket money. So that was my first paid job. What was the question? Was it? Let me find the question again. What was the question? What do you remember about your first job, was it? I just randomly picked a question off. Oh, what was your first full-time job? Was that the question? What was your first full-time job? No, I think it was what do you remember about your first job? Well, anyway, If it was my first full-time job, I would say, well, that wasn't full-time. So I did that the holidays. I did work experience at school, so you had to go and do that. I did many different jobs with that. I've worked in a children's hospital. I enjoyed that very much, worked in a children's hospital. I've obviously worked teaching dancing. I've done choreography. I've been a dance judge. I've worked in doing stage productions. I've been a professional dancer. I've worked in education in many respects, from being a nursery school teacher to doing education, teaching in many different respects. Obviously professional works. I've done lots of TV and that kind of thing. I've forgotten what the actual question was, but I hope I've answered it there. What do you remember most? Was that the question? I can't remember what the question was now. I can't remember the question. Oh dear. Let's go on to this. I had to play that again because I forget. Sometimes I leave my mouse sitting over the piece I play for you, and then I can't move the mouse without it playing. So if you've got any questions you want to ask me, whether they're funny, serious, any questions you want to ask, then just drop a comment anywhere on my channel and say for a Q&A, and I'll give your channel a shout out if I do one then. So I'm going to finish there because it's Mike's birthday and it's, what is it, 6:30 at night now. So I want to go and spend the evening with him. We've had a lovely day, and yeah, thank you so much for being here. And I do appreciate you very much. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you again on Friday on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty.